Hello everyone. In this video, we'll talk about Xtask create in particular for FreeRTOS. The process will be similar to other operating systems, just the parameters are different or function names are different, but there'll be a lot of similarities between FreeRTOS, Xtask create, and other RTOS thread or task create functions. We're going to defer the stack discussions to another video. Like stack size, what is it, and stack overflow, we're going to defer those to other videos. Now, with FreeRTOS, the API comes from task.h, and it's called Xtask create. So this is an API to be able to create a task or thread. So I may use task or thread interchangeably. So let's go through parameter by parameter what it is, and how do you get the simplest thread to run. So the first parameter of Xtask create is the function pointer. The function needs to look like a void return type with one void star parameter. So nothing to return and one void star parameter that we'll actually revisit. The second one is the name of the task. FreeRTOS doesn't use this for any control algorithms by any means. So it is just for the programmer is the name to identify the task with. It'd be for developer debugging, or it would be for identifying what is the task that is using the highest CPU, but it's not used for scheduling. The third one is an interesting one. It's the stack size. The way the stack size should be defined for FreeRTOS is if we take a uint32 variable, it's how much stack memory the thread is allocated with. Absolute minimum stack memory is somewhere around 200 to 300 bytes. If you have plenty of RAM, I would say, allocate more than 10 kilobytes if you can. So we're going to start with 10 kilobytes. So now with FreeRTOS, it's a little bit more complex. The stack size you want to pass in is not measured in bytes. It's measured in the bit width of your CPU. So if I say 10,000 and it's a 32-bit CPU, for a 32-bit CPU, this will actually size to 10,000 times 4 bytes, which is 32 bits. It'll actually end up with about 40 kilobytes, right? So we don't want that, at least in this example. So if you really want it in bytes, maybe I'll rename this parameter to stack size bytes. If you really want it in bytes, then what you do is take your number and divide it by size of a pointer. So size of void star. Another thing you could do is you can say divided by size of uint pointer. So both of these statements will work. And I'm going to comment out one of them. So the second parameter is the stack size in bytes. The third parameter is, if I look up my context help, is a pointer given to the task. So this is the pointer given to the task. So we're going to use another variable here, void star pointer given to task equals, right now I'm going to pass in null. FreeRTOS does nothing with this pointer. Whatever you pass here ends up over here. Whatever you pass here ends up over here. FreeRTOS doesn't have priority low. I defined it in my own file, but with FreeRTOS priorities, it's 0 through n based on FreeRTOS config.h. You don't want to use priority 0 because that should be reserved for idle priority. So you don't want to use 0. So it should be numbers between 1 through n, and n depends on your FreeRTOS config.h. So higher numbers, higher priority. Higher numbers, higher priority. So let's recap this video here, and we'll actually cover this pointer. And I'll mention a little bit about the last parameter. We'll cover that in subsequent videos. So this is priority of the task. 1, 2, 3, higher number, higher priority. The last parameter is if you want to get the task handle back for the created task. So let's cover the details in subsequent videos, but this is all you need for a task. So to create a task or a thread in FreeRTOS, xtask create, which task you want to create, what is the name, what is the stack size, what parameter you want to pass in to the task when it starts running, priority, and this is called a return task handle that we don't need to use, so we can pass no. So if I build my project, it will compile. Okay.